All right, everybody. Well, hey, welcome back to Note Night in America. I know it's been 2 weeks since we had an episode here, but we're excited to be back from Hawaii. Had an actually great time, great 10 days of downtime. Literally didn't look at a single email the entire time I was there. Literally just put me a little behind the eight ball when I got in the office this morning and on Friday afternoon, but that's okay. We're glad to be here. It's Note Night in America. We're doing something a little bit different here. For some reason, over the weekend, Facebook adjusted some of their settings on stuff. So we are going to doing this simultaneously. One, I'm live streaming live on Facebook Live on my cell phone, and the others we are going live on the Zoom. For some reason, there's a setting off with Zoom and Facebook. They're working to get it fixed. So those that are joining us on Facebook Live, thank you for joining us. You're not going to see everything that we go through, but I thought I'd still share it there. If you'd like to get involved in the webinar and you're on our Facebook Live, you can really easy do this. Just go to pull out your smartphone, text the word text the word NIGHT, N-I-G-H-T, to the phone number 72000. It'll send you the link and you can come in and join us in live. For those that are joining us live here, thank you for using the link to register. We're excited to have you. We're going to basically pretty much stick to the PowerPoint here and go through and answer those questions. For those that are on Facebook, I'll try to answer your questions if I see them pop up. Otherwise, it's a little bit off tonight than it normally does. So give me 1 second here. Whoops, new share. Let me pull that up there. All right. So tonight, for those of you joining, because we always have new people that join us here on a regular basis, tonight's topic is all about the finish line. All about the finish line, and hopefully you're here to learn a bit more how to find that number, how to actually get to that point, how to literally identify what works for you, what doesn't work for you. That's completely fair because your numbers are going to be different. But before we dive into that, we have a huge goal over the next 5 years to help create and educate 10,000 note investors, and we can't do it without you. Okay, big thing is we 10,000 investors, 5 years. Yes, we want to average 2,000 a year. To do that, it's important for us to do that. We're excited about that. We're on our way to doing that, but we can't do that without you. So important for you to do that. If you know somebody who's interested, please, we'd love to hear from them, love to meet them, love to have them attend one of our upcoming workshops and go from there. All right. But for those that are joining us for the first time on Note Night in America, who's on the call? All right. There's always a variety of people on the call. And yes, I know Facebook peeps that are watching, I see the number going up. You're not going to be able to see the PowerPoint slide tonight unless you jump over to the link and watch there, all right? We get real estate investors that join us here on Note Night in America. We have people that are obviously note investors because that's what our focus is. We also have people looking to get into the note business, all right? That's an important thing. These calls are recorded. I did hit the red record button, so they are available online. You can go to WeCloseNotes.tv to check them out. And then, of course, you can always join us on the episodes that we have them, because we do record them and throw them up on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play as a podcast episode. So the Note Night in America, they are now available on iTunes. Got a few of you guys out there watching those and downloading is great. Appreciate that. Any extra when we get from people watching that, great. You can listen to it, take it with you, and go from there. Oh, my volume down? Please on my volume. Oh. Anyway, we'll figure this out as we go. But anyway, rocking and rolling along here tonight, everybody. Also, excited to announce also that our Note Camp Season 1 is up rocking and rolling. It's actually one of the things that we did now recently is we've turned this into a podcast, okay? Thank you very much. And they were launched as of the 2nd on iTunes. So that's important. If you guys want to catch any of the episodes, yes, if you paid for it, you got the downloads, you have access to that. But we've got a lot of people that are brand new, like, oh, I missed Note Camp 5. You know, well, I don't know if it's worth it. Well, tell you what, the best way to find out it's worth it is literally go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, go to Google Play, type in Note Camp, 2 words, Note Camp, no periods or anything, just Note Camp, pull it up, and the first 18 episodes are up there. The full 34, 35 episodes should be available by the end of the week is what we're hoping for. So pretty stoked about that. Like I said, it's a great way for you to obviously learn. Had a couple amazing keynote speakers that are rock and rolling. It really helped us out with some great things. And we are looking forward to all the great input that you guys are going to say in all the reviews, what you like, and those that are brand new to the Note Camp aspect. So those are available on iTunes podcast right now as we speak. That were started being available last week on the 2nd, and I got to give a big shout out to my guys Tom and Tracy and Alexandra Hazard at Podetize, who've done a really great job about putting that together. So all 36 episodes of that should be on there as well. Don't enter is a single word. Note Camp, separate word. All right, there is a space between it, Mark Sullivan. Try Note Camp. I don't know why it would pop up that. Sometimes it takes a little while for it. Oh, I get what you're saying. You said it only popped up there. That's weird. No, I looked at it earlier today. Note space camp, and it worked fine. So, anyway, moving on here. Let's get to this. So, our podcast, main podcast, the Note Close Show, is over 96,000. Thank you for listening. We're getting closer to that $100,000 mark. $100,000 download mark. But I want to get into the upcoming events for those of you that are joining us here, getting everybody that's joined us late a little bit time to join us. But actually, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't put it on here, is our Fast Track training. So we're excited. We got some great people coming into Austin for a couple days to join us on our Fast Track training. But next Tuesday night, I will be speaking in North Carolina at the TRIA meeting at the Raleigh-Durham area for the TRIA meeting. So really stoked about that. It'll be a lot of fun. Big group, 200-plus people. We're shipping books out to everybody in attendance. Going to really have a great time there in North Carolina. The 17th and the 19th. Next, the 17th is, what is that? Is that Thursday? Yes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the Laughlin Magnifier Wealth Summit taking place in San Diego. Hey, it's a great place if you're a Laughlin client. I've got a couple tickets if you weren't available to get them up. Aaron's got me a couple tickets. If you're interested in going, let me know. I can get you in, but you've got to attend, okay? Next Fast Track training after this weekend is June 15th, 16th, and 17th. We're excited about that. Got some great people coming for that. I think we've only got 2 spots available for the June Fast Track training. I know some of you guys that are on here are going to be a part of that. One thing to keep in mind, too, literally less than 2 months out from National Social Media Day, which lands on a Saturday this time around. And one thing that we're doing kind of cool this year is for National Social Media Day, we're doing a live stream with our good friend Christy Whites from Serving Social for 27 hours straight. Yes, 27 hours straight. We're going to kick it off at basically midnight Saturday morning at 12 o'clock a.m. and wrap it up at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 27 hours, some great speakers, great social media experts join us for that 27-hour live stream. July 13th to the 14th is the Note Boardroom in Las Vegas. We're excited about that. For the dozen people that are going to be joining us there in the Note Boardroom. July 20th to the 22nd is the next virtual note buying workshop. So that's our next 3-day workshop. They're going to be there. Patty Pay, we look forward to seeing you this weekend. You and your husband join us here for the Fast Track training. Okay, and then our next mastermind is August 23rd and 24th. Why is it just 2 days? Because it butts up next to the Quest Expo on the 25th, 26th. It'll be 2 packed days in Dallas. Actually 4 packed days, based on what the ladies at Quest told me this morning, is that they've got 2 basically from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. days there for the Quest Expo that Saturday, Sunday, and so we're kind of butting up our mastermind so people can be at 2 events for the same 1 airfare. So lots of events upcoming. Mark those down in your calendar, pull out your phone, take a picture. Lots of opportunities for you to get involved or learn some great things, everybody. Okay, any questions about any of our event schedule yet before we dive into things here? All right. Eric Hyde will be there in June. Awesome. Look forward to having you there. Patty Pet looking forward to it as well. Great. What's the Note Boardroom? Note Boardroom is not a mastermind event. Note Boardroom, what that is, Danny, is basically we knew there's a lot of people that want to get trained on things, but they just can't bite off the bullet of being in a mastermind group or going through a fast track training. So we offered up, we're kind of doing a test run on this one, 12 spots, $2,500 a person. Come in, spend 2 days, it's a Friday, Saturday with us in Las Vegas, and it'll be a mini coaching thing. It's not going to be all into like what our fast track is or not mastermind group, but it's a 2-day intensive training designed to really help take your business. If you're starting to get rock and rolling, if you've been doing it for a while, hey, really take you to the next level and stuff like that. So for those of you who have never been to a fast track or mastermind meeting, it gives you an opportunity to kind of preview kind of some of the things that we do there. So that's what the no, Gail, I think I've got the dates wrong. My apology. Your numbers are right, actually, Gail. Now that I realize it, It is June 22nd to the 24th. Is the second fast track in June. Okay? All right. Sorry. I have the dates wrong on my calendar. Anyway, Boardroom is right. June's fast track is later. So, anyway, let's get into tonight's call about the finish line. All right? Now, not last Monday, because last Monday was Stephanie's birthday, and I had to give you all big kudos that wished her a happy 29th birthday for the 12th time as we were sitting at Mama's Fish House in Maui. But the Monday before that, we talked about putting together a business plan for your business. If you don't have a goal of where you want to go, you're going to be really kind of squander your opportunities. You're going to squander what you're trying to accomplish. And I got a lot of emails, a lot of bombarded with people. Hey, can you check out my business plan? Can you really take the time to go through this with me? And I'm like, I don't have the time to go through everybody's business plan. I'm glad to look it over and give you some pointers. But what was funny is that so many people don't know where to begin. They don't know what that end in mind is. You know what I'm saying, everybody? We all have to kind of start with the end in mind. And my buddy Aaron Young is always famous for saying that. Start with the end in mind. Where do you ultimately want to be? Okay? And you have to think about that too as entrepreneurs, as real estate investors, as note investors. What are you working towards? What's that finish line? What's that race that you're running against yourself? Not anybody else, yourself. Okay? What's that race look like? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to get a fast 400 meter or a mile or a half mile or a half marathon? I mean, if you've ever been in any type of athletics or competed in anything, you usually compete against yourself. Like, what's your best 5K time or your 10K time at this point or half marathon time? You know, those are the things you go, what did you close this month? What did you close this quarter? What did you close last year? You know, how do you push yourself to do more things? And I've been talking with some of our students that are closing on a lot of deals, you know, closing on 100 deals in a year. Well, you can't close on 100 deals in a year unless you've put some plans in place. And I said, well, what's your plan? He goes, well, we started with the end in mind. I'm like, okay, that's what I did. You know, what do I want ultimately to look like in 5 years or 10 years? Okay. What do I want my business to ultimately achieve for me? Is it doing a variety of things? And that's what we've got to think about, everybody. What is that finish line for you? And I can't answer that because your finish line is different than mine, okay? What does that finish line look like? Is it, figure out, what are you working towards? Are you working towards sitting in the sand every day with your toes, you know, in the water, or your butt about to be in the water based on the low of those chairs? Are you working towards retirement? Are you working to leave your job? Are you looking for more freedom? Are you looking to travel, do more fun things that you want to do when you want to do it versus having to get permission from your boss? Okay. Are you looking to pay for your kids' education? You know, I did a test webinar today, a test podcast with the ladies from Quest IRA that we're going to refilm next Monday, talking about college education and the cost of tuition if you're wanting to send your kids to school, pay for them to go to college. You know, here in Texas, you have Austin Community College from $12,000 a year up to like St. Edward's, $61,000 a year. Okay, what are you ultimately trying to accomplish with your goal? What's that finish line? Hey, I've achieved it. I've gone to the end. Okay, is it to retire your parents? Because God knows a lot of us have parents that didn't prepare for retirement. They believed that lie that was sold to them, and we'll get to that later on. What that lie was. Is it retire your kids? Which is unfortunate to say that, but I think we all have friends that aren't prepared, that have moved back in with mom and dad because they weren't prepared for what life had to deal with them, okay? The biggest question I have to ask you guys tonight, if you can get anything out of tonight, what is your why? Why are you doing what you want to do? Yes, for the most time, it's hey, provide a better living for our family. It's provide that. But what does that look like? What does that number look like for that finish line? Is it taking a vacation every quarter, or is it once a year, or once every 5 years? Is it working till you're 65, or working till you're 55, or continue to work till you're 85, but just doing something that you're passionate about, like it's real estate or something else? What does that look like? And that's what the most important thing I can get you out with tonight is, what is your why? And one of the things I've asked, I've got a little poll here that I did, and I want to launch this here for you. It's a really simple thing, and this goes into the financial advisor side of me coming back out in this call tonight, okay? I want you guys to answer this question for me. It's anonymous. I don't see who picks on what. All I do is get a percentage of how many people answered the actual question. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, you're not going to be able to answer this. Okay, you have to go in online to text the word night to 72,000 to get the link to join us live on the webinar. So for those that are on Zoom tonight or join us on the webinar, I asked this question: how much do you currently have saved for retirement in your 401k, your IRAs, or cash? It's multiple choice. Do you have 50 grand or less? Do you have 50 to 100? Do you have 100 to 250? Do you have $250,000 to $500,000, or do you have $500,000 or more? Okay. And the reason I ask this is they say, one of the biggest things is they say, there's a quote in a movie that I love, and I'll get to it in a second. But if you have $2 million to $4 million, you should have enough approximately saved. And I'm not asking that here. I'm asking do you have something saved? Okay. And right now we're at roughly about 44% of those that are watching this on Zoom have voted. 27 up. We're up to 51% now, which is awesome. Great. I don't, like I said, guys, I don't see who puts on votes on what. It's anonymous on this stuff. That's the beautiful thing about it. Some of you are like pulling up your accounts. Well, how much do I really have? Which is great. It's awesome. And for those of you that have a good chunk saved, kudos to you guys. Kudos to you, your spouse. You've worked hard. And I don't care where that money's at, whether it's 401ks or retirement accounts, whatever like that. That's awesome. Good for you. Congratulations to you for doing that. Unfortunately, you're the minorities. Unfortunately, most people have less than 10 grand saved. All right. Most people have less than 50 grand saved for the most part. Now, in our thing here, we've got some really bright people, really smart people here that are doing some great things. Actually, as we see right now, I'll give it another 30 seconds to let another 10 or 12 of you vote if you would not mind. The 12 of you that have not voted yet. It's great seeing. We see 36%, 36% of people here on the call tonight. So roughly about a third have more than $500,000 saved. That's phenomenal. Okay, 10% of you have 50 to 100. Next one from there, 17%. 17% of you have less than 50K. Don't worry, you can still get caught up. Okay, 19%, just under 20%, have 100 to 250. A fifth of you have basically somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000. That's great. That's phenomenal. And thank you for sharing. We got 82% of you that voted on that. That's awesome. So I'm going to hit the end of the polling on that. Yeah, the biggest thing was that you guys are savers. You guys are putting money away, which is phenomenal. That didn't really surprise me that much. Question, somebody popped up with a chat question here. Thank you. Woo. You're welcome, Lisa. The beautiful thing about this, let me share the results here with you guys. Share it so you can see. You can see the numbers there. Now, that's great. That's awesome. Actually, what does scare me is the 30% that don't have really have less than 100K, because you're kind of behind the eight ball a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get caught up. That means you can't do some big things. Okay, you can. You definitely can. That's what this is all about. I'm willing to bet those that have more than $250,000 saved have a plan, have a number they've already worked at. They've ever sat down with their financial advisor, gone through kind of what they need to do it. So that's awesome. So I'm going to stop sharing that and close that down. Thank you again for answering that. So one of my favorite questions is this, or one of my favorite movies is The Gambler. Mark Wahlberg, and it's got this quote in here that I absolutely love. Okay? And this is, see, if you've never seen The Gambler, go watch it. If I want to watch it by yourself, it's got a little bit of adult language in it. And John Goodman's this hard, I guess you could say really this hard money lender. I mean, he's going to bail Mark Wahlberg out by giving him $250,000. But he's the guy you don't want to be owing money to. And Mark's trying to go him to pay off some gambling debts. And this is something, yes, he says, hey, that's how far have you ever been up? And Mark Wahlberg goes, and his character goes, I've been up $2.5 million. And this is what he says. You get up $2.5 million, any asshole in the world knows what you do. You get a house with a 25-year mortgage, okay? A 25-year roof. You put the rest into the system at 3 to 5% to pay your taxes, and that's your base. Get me? That's your fortress of effing solitude, okay? That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of F you, okay? Somebody wants you to do something, F you. Boss pisses you off, F you. Own your house. Have a couple bucks in the bank. Don't drink. That's all I have to say about to anybody on any social level. And I kind of laugh and chuckled about that. Pardon the language, but we kind of rock some things here as well. That's an opinion that I share. I'm like, listen, you work your bus off, the point where, hey, you're at the point where you can say, F you. I don't need to do what you tell me you think you need to do. And there's no better feeling than walking and telling your boss, maybe not F you, but hey, I'm out of here. See you later, alligators. I'm gone. All right, because I've done the right things in my portfolio, my investing, my side gig, that I don't need to sit here and take your crap anymore. I've been smart. I've had a plan. I've worked my plan, and it's paid off. And that's what it's all about here, is having a plan of action to make things happen. Now, if you're looking for an interesting plan, some way to go on and see what you need to put, what you've got, and how long you got, there's actually an FU calculator, FU money calculator. All right. Seriously, I can't make this up, and I abbreviated the F, okay? It's an FU money calculator. It's a long link. I shrunk it down to a bit link for you. bit.ly/FU money. Capital F, capital Y, capital M. Everything else is lower k. FU money. FYOUMONEY. So use that bit link. Takes you there. I'm not going to share it on the screen because it literally does have some bad words on it, which is okay. All right. So, but you can go to most any financial institution's websites to check it out. And you know what? If you click on the bit link or go to the bit link, I know how many people will click on the link. It doesn't tell me who, but I'm interested to see how many people actually click on the link. But you can go to Wells Fargo, Chase, Edward Jones, Charles Schwab, any of these institutions, and they'll have a financial calculator. Calculate your retirement. All right. Now, don't always believe what they tell you is the truth. Don't let them distress you, because you have to realize the mind of a banker is brainwashed. Is set there to brainwash people on the returns that they can get in retirement, or what safe returns are, or mid-risk or risky returns are in retirement. And so they adjust it to show and brainwash the normal Joe. Oh, try to get 8% ahead of time, and then when you retire, you probably need to be safe at 3 to 6% so you don't lose anything. And you and I all know that real estate, if you're making 3 to 6%, hey, if you're happy with that, good for you. But if you're not, okay, if you're not making that, you're making more, you're probably wise off, right? So let's talk about that, because if you think with the end in mind, they say that you need to be making 90% of your income is what you have to expect to retire on, 90% of your income. And I think it's, depending on what your income is, that can vary. So let's give you an idea, and I ran a couple numbers based on if you're getting an 8% return on your retirement, a 10% return, or a 12% return, okay? Because I'm a big believer. I didn't click over anything, did I? Nope, I didn't click over anything. I maybe have gotten a slide out of point here, but let's look at this. If you want to make $50K a year and you're getting 8% on your money, that means you need to put $625,000 away, okay? If you want to be making $100,000 a year living off the interest, that means you need to have somewhere between $1 and $250,000 saved at 8% interest. So if you're getting 8% interest on your $625,000 a year, you're going to see a 50K a year income, okay? Now, if it's 10% you want as return, that means if you want to make $50K, it's $500,000 saved. All right. $100K means you can have $1 million saved, making 10%. Pretty simple math, right? Okay. And if you want to you're be a little bit more aggressive and you get 12%, you can have less saved because you're being smart with your money, or you've got some opportunities. So $50K, if you want to make $50K coming in off the interest, you'd only need to have $417,000 saved, making 12% to pay you $50,000 a year. Now, if you wanted $100K, you need to put basically $833,000 away at 12% to pay that, to feed you off that annually. All right, so you're living off that. Okay. Now, those numbers are still feasible, especially if you've got investments that are paying you, versus what a lot of the banks like to brainwash you, like, oh, your income's going to go away completely. And I have yet to see a retired real estate investor. Okay. Comment on here. It's me in the chat roll. Lisa says, please show 5% because investments fluctuate in real life. Look, Lisa, I'm not showing you 5% because I'm not going to go through everything. You can use your calculator to calculate 5% on it, okay? So if you want to make $50,000, that would probably be making 5%. Let's just go back there real fast here. So just double the number. So at 10%, basically you'd have to have $1 million saved at 10%, if at 5%, getting $50K a year, okay? What I don't want you guys to do is to suddenly, oh my God, I got to put $1 million away. $1 million is like an elephant. A lot of people see that 7 figures, especially if you've never made 6 figures. It's hard to see making 7 figures. And that was the way I felt until I made my first 7-figure year. Okay? And I realized that I had to grow into that 7-figure for me to go to the next level. You know, because you fluctuate up, great. And you can't be that same person with the same habits and the same things you did before as a 6-figure person, or even a 5-figure person. Okay, if you're making 50 grand a year, it's hard to go from 50 grand a year to $1 million without doing different things. You have to grow into that position. You have to grow into that person, to grow into that investor. You have to do some smarter things out there to make that happen. So anyway, we all know that of the 40-40-40 lie, right? You're going to work for 40 years. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what you made. Okay? That's a big lie. And I've never known a real estate investor, a true real estate investor, who's somebody who's doing this on a regular basis to retire. Yeah, they may slow it down a little bit, but they still are constantly doing deals. They're keeping their mind sharp. The whole idea of things is that when you retire, whether it's 55, 65, 75, what kills people the most, that going from a job or career and then going to retirement where they're not doing anything, they die off faster because their brain's not working. Okay? I know that's not you guys. That's not real estate investors. Our brains are constantly working. We're constantly networking. We're constantly going out and buying new deals or learning new things that we can put in our tool belt, right? Okay? As I said before, entrepreneurs don't buy that. I joke being 40. We were talking about, I expect to live to be 87, I guess, is what my life expectancy to be. Is like 87, I'm going to live a lot longer than that. I expect to. So it means I still have over half of my life ahead of me. Okay? I can take what I've learned in the first 40 years and really implement it to really do some amazing things. And I don't care what your goals are in life. If you've got more than 10 years left in your life, why not go do that? Why not go try to do something great? Okay? Go focus on your dreams. Chase those dreams, or help that become part of your why. Help that become part of your finish line. I want to do something different. I've always wanted to do that. Well, great. Do it. Okay? I will tell you this. Paper investors are always getting paid, whether it's in paper on first liens or second liens or commercial or residential or owner financing or credit card or student loan debt or car debt. We're always going to get paid in the paper game. Okay? That's what I love about the note business. We're always going to get paid in the paper game. All right? So let's focus on these numbers, some of the numbers that you need here, and being the bank and how to get to that point with a finish line, okay? And this is all about simple planning. This is not anything difficult, okay? This is not anything that's going to be like, oh, I got to have a PhD in finance to get to. I need to know the PE ratios, or I need to know the expense ratios, or the ranking of this. No, we're not going to get into any of that. So just take a deep breath. Don't worry about it. I will take and put these slides online, and I'll share my slides on SlideShare for everybody to go back and watch later on. It's fine, okay? So before we dive into this, I wanted to bring up this quote by Robin Sharma, okay? Great quote. Success lies in a masterful consistency around a few fundamentals. It really is simple, not easy, but simple. Think about that. Success lies in a masterful consistency around a few fundamentals. It really is simple, not easy, but simple. What is he saying? Have a simple plan, simple features of what you're focused on will help you hit success a lot easier, okay? Or a lot simpler is probably the better word versus easier, okay? Huge proponent of this. Keep it simple, stupid. If you're over planning and over preparing, you're only hurting yourself, okay? So let's talk about how to make some money in paper, right? Paper profits. No, it's just water, everybody. Just water. I'm drinking a Mai Tai tonight. All right, so let's figure out some estimated numbers and percentages or some things here for you guys, okay? Based on the scenarios of where we're at today in today's market, I'm saying you're probably going to see a 50-50 as far as loans that get modified, loans that get reinstated, loans that get modified. And then also, 50 of those are going to get, if you bought 100 notes, you probably have 50 of those and 50 you end up foreclosing on. So based on those numbers, this is going to work for CFDs, contract for deeds, first liens, owner finance, even rentals. I mean, rentals you're not going to end up foreclosing on, but it doesn't mean it can't be something that you take back after you foreclose and keep the property. Or you get a deed loan, decide to keep it if the numbers make sense, okay? We're going to assume, I know when you say assume, but for the sake of this, to keep it really simple, we're going to say, hey, you're going to be making $10,000 on REO profits, okay? 10,000 REO profits, and then roughly those are non-performing notes or deed loans, cash or keys. And then also the loans that you get are going to be $500 a month on performing loan payments. Okay, somewhere around 500, maybe 600 on one, maybe 400 on another one. Just go with me on these numbers. Okay, so let's just start with something really simple: 20 deals a year. Okay, 20 deals a year is not difficult. That's literally less than 2 a month. Okay, this is a plan that everybody can put into place. 20 deals, everybody, not difficult. Okay, so if you had half of those that you had to foreclose on, deed in lieu, cash for keys, at 10 grand each. Okay. And then you also had the other 10 you got reperforming at $500 a month, okay? That's a pretty good return on investment if you were able to do that. So year one, you made 100 grand off the REOs that you sold, probably more, but we're just keeping it simple numbers. And you got about 60 grand, 60K in cash flow, 5 grand a month off those 10 deals that are performing at $500 a month. So those two numbers together is about roughly 160 grand in year one. Not bad, right? That's pretty good. That's roughly a 15 grand a month income. All right. So does that numbers make sense for year one there for you? Okay. 20 deals, 10 you foreclose on, 10 you get reinstated. Okay. Nothing too difficult. Every note investor can do 20 deals in their first year. Everybody can do that. Okay. Now let's talk about year two. You're just doing the same thing all over again. 20 deals. 10 of them you end up foreclosing on, taking some REOs back or sell them off, and then the other 10 you're turning into cash flow. Okay? Another 160 grand. Year 3 looks the same way. Year 4 looks the same way. Year 5 looks the same way. Okay? That's pretty good, right? That's not bad. You got 160 grand off your deals coming in a year. Is that number actually correct, though? No, that number is not actually correct for a couple of reasons. Well, the first reason is with the non-performing notes you get, that you turn them into performing, or you get them modified, or you bought performing notes, those still stick around. They don't go away at the end of the year. They keep paying you every year. Okay? All right? So I wanted to make it simple with these. Okay? Simple with this before we dive into the math. So let's talk about the cash flow and the REOs. Well, yes, REOs are a one-time, basically, hit. You buy a deal, foreclose, sell it, you get your money in. You either spend that money or you downplay, or I say double down, okay? But let's just say you spend that money. You're using it for expenses. So if you did that 10 deals a year, 10 grand a year, or I'm sorry, 100,000 a year times 5, that's 500,000 in 5 years in the REO sales off of basically how many deals? 50 deals, right? Well, the other 50 deals are notes that basically keep compounding for you. They keep working towards you. You don't get rid of them, you keep them on, okay? So the first year, you got your first 10 notes and bringing you roughly 60 grand in cash flows. The second year, you add 10 more notes, but you keep the existing notes. So you have 20 notes at the end of year 2. In year 3, you have 30 notes. You just add another 10 more, roughly 1 a month on average. Year 4, same thing, 30 plus 10. It's 40 notes. Year 5, it's 40 plus the 10. So now you have 50 notes that are roughly generating you $300,000 a year in cash flow each year. That's not too shabby, everybody, right? Do you guys see how I got to that number that are joining us on the live stream? 10 notes that are reperforming, okay? Bringing 60 grand a year, $500 a month times 12 is 60. Is 5 grand. Sorry, 500 bucks times 10 notes times 12 months. Okay, 60 grand, 60 to 120, 120 to 180, 180 to 240, 240 to 300. Why does it go up by 60 grand each year? Because the fact is you keep the existing notes in place that you've bought. They're reperforming. Why get rid of them? If you're making 20, 30% of your money, even if you're splitting that money cash flow, you got a 24% on a loan mod. Why not? Why not keep it? You're not going to get that hardly anywhere else. Okay? So, but let's talk about what did you really make. Okay? So, 500 in REO sales, $300,000 in cash flow. Okay? That's not bad. Wait, and those numbers are off. No, that's right. That's right. Fully right. Question here. Wayne, let's just hang on a second, buddy. All right? So you got basically $800,000 in income. It's $160,000 yearly average. It's not too shabby, right? Basically $160,000 a year in income on that stuff. Okay? Is that right? No, it's actually more than that. My numbers were off. I knew my numbers would bother me. That's why I should not have answered the phone call. So if your numbers are actually off. So basically, you add those numbers up over. So the first year 60, 120, 100. That's 180, 360. Plus that's six. That's actually $900,000 in cash flow. Okay. So my numbers are off on this. Let me go in here and fix this. $900,000 in cash flow. Actually, $1.4 million in profits. And 1.4 divided by 5 is 280,000 a year. That's pretty good, huh, everybody? And the thing to keep in mind of that, there you go, 500,000 and 900 cash flow, 50 deals, bringing that in for you. Yeah, over the 5 years. 1.4 million income. Basically, it's 100 deals in 5 years. Everybody can do 100 deals in 5 years. You can be working full time and still do 100 deals in 5 years. Okay? Now, if you figure you've only got about a 10% acceptance ratio on your 100 deals, okay, that's 1,000 offers you got to put in place. Now, are you going to get better at your offers over time? Yeah. So let's say you get up to 20%. Okay? Hang on a second here. Oh, yeah. That's, if you had 1,000 offers over 5 years, that's basically divide that 1,000 by 5. It's 200 offers a year, 17 offers a month, or roughly 4 offers a week. Very, very feasible to do. Okay? Now, if you bump it up to 20%, then you only got to make 500 offers, and that number is obviously divided down. 100 offers a year, 8 offers a month, 2 offers a week. These are simple numbers, but the point is, what I'm getting at is I see people all the time that aren't putting in the simple work. I get text messages, emails from people, oh, I've made 20 phone calls. Oh, I've made 50 phone calls in the last 2 weeks. I'm getting disappointed. I'm getting stressed out. Really? I mean, call me when you've made 500 phone calls in a month. Call me when you make 100 phone calls in 3 days and not get anywhere. Okay? I really have no room for complaints. When did you send an email to your database? Yeah, I've sent it out once. Well, send it out again. You send it out once, you got no responses, great. You're right in the average of sales. 80% of sales made for the 5th contact. Okay? Now, Wayne asked, well, what if you don't have the money, you're doing this stuff with yourself? Okay, great. If you're figuring that you're buying 60K assets bought at a $50,000 average, all right, and you need 100 assets at basically 50%, it means $3 million in funding. If you have the funding yourself, great. Or you find funding partners that are happy making 8 to 12%. Because trust me, if they're happy making 8 to 12% of their money, which many people are, on the note side, you should be still pulling in around 24 to 30%. Especially if you get a non-performing, get it reperforming, or even a non-performing priced right that you foreclose on. Okay? Now, if you have somebody that's more aggressive that wants a higher return on investment, then you just double your number. 30,000 times 200 assets. 200 assets is still very feasible over 5 years. Okay? That's $6 million in funding. Okay? Now, let's take this back here. If you divide that out, that's over 5 years. Those numbers are over 5 years. Now, divide that number, $3 million by 5 years. That's $600,000 per year, or $50K per month. If you meet a new investor once a month by going out networking or sending an email out, one investor at $50,000 a month is what you need coming in to help you fund new deals. Now, that's saying, okay, I need to find a chunk of people. Yeah, that's 12 people. Okay? Does that mean I need to find 60 people? No, not necessarily. That would be great, but you don't need a huge 2,000 investors unless you can buy a big portfolio of 25 to 50 million in assets. Not the case. There's so many note investors out there, or people that have money and sit on the sidelines, not making anything. And if you guys go back here and look at your poll, the poll number I just ran, let's just say those that have 50K to 100K. There's 10% of people out there that were on this call. 10 people, or chunk of people, 13, 14, actually 20 some odd plus people that commented on here that they got $250,000 or less to invest with. I'm sure if they were getting 12% of their money, they'd be very happy. Okay? Those that have more, hey, there you go. You want to make 8 to 12% of your money? How's your money performing for you? It's not performing? You're making 0? Well, let me help you put that in making 6% or 8%. Those are simple conversations to have to make things happen. Now, if you need to get aggressive, be aggressive. And you need somebody who wants to split the partnership, then you need to raise $1.2 million per year, or $100K per month, or $25,000 per week. You see what I'm trying to get at, everybody? Your plan is simple to get to. All right? It's simple to build that plan up and keep it rocking and rolling and keep it rolling and rolling and rolling if you do the simple things on a daily basis. Those of you that want, I'm going to go out and buy 100 notes this year, that's not going to happen in your first year. And you probably would make some mistakes along the way. What I see the most amount of success from people is they buy one deal, then they buy two, then they buy 5, then they buy 10. They get their systems in place, they get their vendors down, and they get things rocking and rolling for them. Okay? And they do a great job that way. And that's how they build success. Long-term success is done with simple steps. Okay? Having a plan is a start, but making sure it gets done is the important part. Something I put together for you guys here a few minutes ago before I got started. Having a plan is a start. Okay, it's better than nothing, but making sure it gets done is the most important part. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection is the biggest downfall of most people. Okay? Cody says, I run these kind of numbers at least once a month. Thanks. And Cody, that's why the fact that you focus on your game plan once a month and you're adjusting things is because you're motivated. You have a finish line, and that light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter for you every day. Right? But you have a plan. You're doing it. That's why you're seeing success. Thank you for commenting, Cody Cox. That's why we love you, brother. That's why we love seeing you hit that. And your whole outlook has changed in the last 24 months dramatically. Whether you believe it or not, your outlook has changed. You've started smiling more. You're in a little bit more positive mood when I see you or talk to you, versus being pulled down and just depressed. We're wrong. We still have our ups and we still have our downs. We still have our peaks and our valleys. But Cody, you're doing a great job, and I just want to pass that on to you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. But that's awesome. You're doing a great job, man, because you have a plan and you've implemented it. Okay. So what do I mean by starting? A plan of action to starting. Okay. What do I mean? Quit fine tuning. If you find yourself trying to fine tune everything, I will tell you right now, perfect people never find success. Okay. There's difference than running the numbers and see, okay, what if you close this month? How much closer am I to my goal? That's fine. And you will often find the better you're at what you're doing, your numbers will get, the bigger numbers won't be as many deals because you'll do better at what you do. Okay? You want to start taking real action. Okay? And I mean real action. None of this like, oh, I'm going to do something to make myself feel better. Look, if you're behind, you can catch up. Straight to the point. If you have 0 saved, which is a chunk of you, okay, or I don't have hardly anything saved, don't have any deals, which is a chunk of you, it's okay. You can catch up, all right? You can do some amazing things still with the time that we have left in this current market right now, all right? You can do some great things to catch up, okay? If you're a scaredy cat and you feel fear, I will tell you right now, the fear is only in your head, okay? And what does fear break down? It means false evidence appearing real. Okay? Fear is only in your head. You are only limited by the lack of activity that you do. You determine your own success, whether you believe it or not. Especially in this no game. You determine whether you're able to raise capital. You determine whether you're going to make offers. You determine whether you're going to be marketing. Okay? So what I mean by this, call more banks, make more offers. Okay? Do more videos, send more emails. Okay? If you're not doing those basic things, like attending events and networking with more people, this is a very simple business. Calling more banks, making more offers, doing more videos, sending more emails, attending events, and adding more people to your database. Those are the 6 things you've got to be doing on a weekly basis. Not a once a month basis, but a weekly basis. Okay? Oh, I'm no good in front of the camera. Great. Share a video. Share a post online. Okay? If you aren't doing these things weekly, you are wasting time. Oh, I'm going to do 1 video a month. That's not enough. Come on. Are you saying it's more important for you to push off your goals of whether it's to retire yourself or your spouse or your kids or your mom and dad versus you getting outside your comfort zone and getting in front of the camera? Okay. I just bought this round circular light for like $175. I can put my smartphone on it and I can put my webcam in it. I'm really excited to use it, and then Facebook was acting weird today. But I still overcame. It didn't stop me from doing it. After taking 10 days off, on vacation. Has it been like getting out of mud to get things rock and rolling? Heck yeah. But I still did the things a little bit. We had emails that went out today. We did the video. I worked with my trainer at noon. I had somebody call me up. Hey, let's meet lunch. It would have been really easy to say no. But like, no, I need to focus on what I need to focus on. Okay? And if you aren't doing things on a daily, weekly basis, okay, you got to get things done. And Laura just commented here. I can't see it on my phone, but Laura's a great testament of that. Taking action and making things happen. She has kicked it into gear. She's got a different why. She's embraced her why and just needed somebody to come up with a plan of action for her, and she's done that. So kudos to you, Laura Blanc, for doing some amazing things in the last month as well. So John says 250 to 300 calls for 3 months and just put in bids on my first 7 commercial notes. 250 to 300 phone calls per month. Yeah, that's so basically at 60. That's somewhere between 60 and 70 phone calls in a week. That's not difficult at all. That's what you should expect. Making 60 to 100 phone calls a week. Okay? That's what you have to expect. And the best thing you do, John, is follow back up with those, but you've got your bids going on commercial notes, which is awesome. If I remember a 10-unit apartment complex that you have not sent me the details on. I see how it is. I help you out, John, and you don't send me details on a deal. I see where the love's at. I see where the love is at. No love for the note guy. All right. So a lot of people have asked me over time, what's my finish line? And I've got it down here. I'll show you. So I've had a number because I don't have a lot of close family. I don't have little kids that I know running around, besides the fur-legged kind. And this is something I gave a lot of thought to. My numbers used to be 400 times 400. It was a 400. I called it my 400 times 400 plan. I wanted 400 notes so they were reperforming at 400 a month in payments from each one. Okay? It's $160,000 a month coming in. Not a year. It's $160,000 a month coming in off that 400 by 400. Okay? We worked very hard and got a big chunk of that last year. And we're taking time. We're going through those things. I'm not getting rid of some REOs, selling some assets off before we take on another chunk here in the next 90 days. Okay? If I have that going 400 times 400, that brings in not only 160 a month, that brings in $1.9 million per year. It's roughly $2 million a year. That's what I want. I'm happy with that. I don't need to make $10 million. I mean, maybe $50 million a year. I do that for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I'm set. I'm golden. Now, will I always be doing some of the notes? I probably will. I have a big interest in the marketing and stuff like that aspect. That's where I find a lot of fun with that. That's my itch. My artistic itch, as Steph would like to say. I'm not much for painting or filling in the blanks, but I like the marketing side of things. But that's my goal. Okay? Now, I want half of those in my self-directed IRA. IRAs, I should say, is a better way of saying it. I want half of my IRAs. Now, for those of you like, oh, I would love that, but I can't do any of that. If you were to put $5,000 away into your IRA, whether it was before tax day or you do it now, you could technically take a $100 option fee and put it on 50 notes. $100 note, $100 option fee on a note. And with $5,000, you could secure it on 50 notes. You just need to find somebody to help you out there. Usually a hedge fund, not going to buy direct from a bank. But like, put some option fees, wholesale those off. Or, hey, put those into your IRA. You can grow wealth relatively quickly. We'll actually be doing probably a Note Night in America training on options. Actually, you know what? We're going to save it for the WCN crew. That's what we'll talk about this Wednesday night on the WCN crew training, is how to do option fees with your IRAs. Okay? Pretty stoked about that. But that's my goal. That's been my big goal for a while. Now, as we get closer to that number, my numbers change. Maybe it's more. Maybe I'm just not going to do as much anymore. I don't have to burn the candle at both ends. Because, let's face it, we worked our asses off the 3 weeks before we took our vacation with Note Camp and then our mastermind and everything went into that. And we were excited about it. April was one of our best months ever. May is going to be even better because we work our ass off. June may not be much because we're going to take some more time off the end of May and June. So I add a question here, comment here. You haven't heard back yet, John. Well, if you've got the list, you should send over the list. I don't want you submitting a bid on my behalf. Send me over the list and let me know. That's what I want to see, those assets. But anyway, so that's what my finish line is. I think Steph and I, we've got some big plans that we want to accomplish. She's got a very big heart for animals, so do I. Big heart for our military, and we've got some things that we want to do. We're going to fund it with our deals. We're going to fund it with our no deals. There's people out there that don't have as big goals as mine. That's completely fine. They don't have to have as big goals. I got some big things that I want to do here in the next few years. And that's ultimately what I want to accomplish. So, come here. Questions, comments, concerns? The biggest goal I can tell you guys for the night is finding out what that finish line is. Figuring out, what do I need? What would I be happy with coming in? If you were today, you're making, say, 50 grand a year, figure out what it takes for you to bring in 100 grand or 75 grand. Because your whole life changes. I'm not talking about scraping by. I'm talking about having some fun. Because it's not fun to work so hard if you're just going to scrape by. You want to be able to have some fun, do some fun things, take some fun trips. So I challenge you all, look at what you're making this year, what you've made in the last 12 months, what you made last year, and add a 0 to it. Or add half of that number. If you made 50, add another 25 to it. And then challenge yourself to make 150 the next year instead of 75. Okay? Okay? I have a plan, Lisa. I want all of you to have a plan. Because if you have a plan, it's going to help guide you on your path. It's going to help you guide you to your finish line. It's going to help you get to where you want to be, and you can tell everybody else, F you. I got F you money. F you. All right? All right? Any other questions, comments, everybody? How are we doing on time? Andrew says, one deal in the hopper, the hooper, 99 to go. Hey, buddy, there you go. It all starts with one, and then you start with two. Every great journey begins with a single step. Okay? So I'm going to challenge this. I'm going to go back here to one of the slides I put in here. This is the biggest thing, that if you are struggling, if you find yourself tweaking your presentation, tweaking your business plan, trying to make everything perfect before you take a step, stop. Stop. Just do it. Just start taking plan. Because I guarantee, no matter how great you are, how perfect your business plan is, 30 days into it, it's not going to be even close. You're going to F it up. You're going to screw it up. And that's okay. That's the way you learn. That's the way you get ahead in life. Okay? And there's no other questions or comments from anybody out there. I want to say thank you for listening. You're welcome, Phil. Glad to visit with you and Melanie. They're going to do some big things. Definitely. So we'll definitely see if we can't get that deal squeezed better in your favor here tomorrow. So otherwise, guys, go out, make something happen. Go take some action. That's all I ask. Trust me, I'm the most happiest when I get people telling me, hey, I close another deal, close another deal, close another deal. That's what I want. That's my biggest gift for you, is when you realize that you are the master of your own destiny. You are the captain of your own ship. And that what you do on a daily basis ultimately affects your ultimate outcome, and it's not to anybody else. It's you. I think you'll act differently. I know that I did. So with that, guys, go out, have a great evening. Go make something happen, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.